Hi, I'm Chris McBrien.
And I'm Derek Myers.
Here at Pop Goes Your World, we've received a lot of great feedback on how much people enjoy the trivia segments that we do at the end of every episode.
So we've decided to go back and put together compilations of the Fun with Yancy and Fun with Caveman segments we've done over the years as a set of bonus episodes.
We hope you enjoy the fun. Episode 1, The Generation Gap.
Fun with Yancy.
Yancy, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask you some questions about Gen X, and I'm going to see if you know. I'm going to make it really easy for you, okay? Real easy questions, and I just want to see how much you know, just to have some fun with you, okay? We just like to play with you. So you've obviously no doubt heard of Mark Wahlberg, right? You're the actor and director, right? So
I'm aware. Yes.
So yes, he used to sing in a rap group, you know, and they were known as Marky Mark and the what?
The Funky Bunch.
Very good.
Okay.
I'm impressed. Yes.
Let me just say this. Let me just give a little caveat real quick.
Sure.
About 2 months ago, I did not know this. Okay. My boss at work, his name is Mark, and I would always call him Marky Mark, just as a, whatever. I don't want to say affectionate nickname, but just as a nickname because he's my boss.
Right.
And then he started saying,
it was a term of endearment. That's it.
Right. Exactly. A term of endearment. And he would always say, yeah, and here's my Funky Bunch. And I never knew what he meant. And then, literally, up until two months ago,
one of those Gen X winks that we were talking about earlier. One of those handshakes. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Just went right over my head,
Right.
and I was like, what is the Funky Bunch? What is that from? And then everybody around me was like, oh my God, you don't know who Marky Mark is? I'm like, no. And then we got into this whole diatribe about how, Marky Mark, he used to model underwear, and then he was like a pseudo rapper, singer, entertainer, and it was Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. But so I do know it now, but literally 2 months ago, I had absolutely no idea whatsoever.
Well, speaking of rappers, I got one for you. There was a rapper in the late '80s that actually he thought that he could unseat the king of pop. Michael Jackson, of course. So his songs included "You Can't Touch This" and "Too Legit to Quit." Who was it?
Come on, Chris. Really? It's MC Hammer.
All right. This is so maybe I make it a little bit hard. Okay, I'm going to make it harder on you. In 1992, 72-year-old Jack Palance, he won the Oscar Best Supporting Actor for City Slickers. Okay? So he got up on stage during the Oscars to accept his award, but what did he do?
For City Slickers?
Yeah, City Slickers. You know that movie, right?
Is that the one with Billy Crystal?
Yeah, Billy Crystal. Well, the Jack Palance, 72-year-old Jack Palance, who played Curly in the movie, won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. When he got on stage to accept his award, what did he do? It's like a big moment in my generation.
Did he have a heart attack or something?
No. He dropped down. He dropped down and did one-handed push-ups on the stage.
Really?
Yeah, he did. Okay, here's one.
Okay.
Happy Days, right? We've talked about Happy Days before. It's one of the most popular TV shows of all time. Probably. So the iconic character in the show, and maybe the iconic character from all the '70s, was Fonzie, right? In the show Happy Days, what was Fonzie's first name?
Oh, I don't know, Chris. I don't know.
Oh, see, I've got to make it a little bit harder. It's Arthur Fonzarelli. Arthur.
I knew the Fonzarelli, but I did not know that his name was Arthur. I know you have like this weird, almost cultish obsession with the Fonz for some reason. You mention him a lot.
I like I like Fonzie. Okay, so here's one for you. I got a movie. This movie was so iconic that it spawned like a whole bunch of like mockumentaries. It was directed by Rob Reiner, and it's probably best known for there's a scene with some electric guitar amplifiers that don't go up to 10, they go up to all the way up to 11. What name the movie?
Say that again?
It's a movie. It's a mockumentary directed by Rob Reiner, and one of the most popular scenes in it is there's electric guitar amplifiers, and the guitar player says these don't go to 10, these go to 11. What movie
is it? This is Spinal Tap?
That's it. Yes, of course. Very good.
Is it?
And all right, I'm going to do. Yeah, you're right. I'm going to do one last one because I mentioned The Breakfast Club. I'm going to name 4 actors, and you tell me which one was not in The Breakfast Club, okay? Anthony Michael Hall, Molly Ringwald, Andrew McCarthy, Emilio Estevez. Which one was not in The Breakfast Club?
Isn't Emilio Estevez Charlie Sheen?
No, it's Charlie Sheen's brother.
Right.
It's his brother.
Oh. What was the third one? What was the third guy?
Andrew McCarthy.
I'm going to go with that one, but it's purely a guess.
Good guess, because you're right. Congratulations. Very, very well done.
Yeah.
Episode 2, CG or not CG? That is the question.
Fun with Yancy.
Okay, over to you, my friend. You got some questions for me this week, I understand. So
Yeah, I got some questions for you. Most of them are tangentially related to CGI. So either the movies themselves, feature a lot of CGI, or maybe a character inside the movie. Most of them are within the last 10 or 15 years. I think there's one or two that are a little bit older than that. But
okay, good. I'll do my best.
Basically, it's just some basic trivia. So I want you to not cheat.
Okay.
Keep your hands off the keyboard.
Sounds good.
All right, first question. It says, James Cameron,
Yep.
you may have heard of him. He's one of the most renowned implementers of CGI in his blockbuster films, and it's obviously made him a lot of money. Can you name his top 5 grossing films, all of which are aided heavily by awe-inducing computer-generated imagery?
Yeah, because he's used it in pretty much all of his movies, hasn't he? Okay, so we've got Avatar, Titanic, T2. Going from there, I would say, what else has he got that's really, really huge? Terminator 1, I'll go with. I guess Piranha 2, The Spawning, probably won't count for him. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else what else has he done? He took a long time off. I'm going to say those 4, and then, I don't know, you got me. I got 4.
All right, you were correct. You actually named 1, 2, and 3. Avatar, Titanic, and Terminator 2, Judgment Day. And the other, rounding up the top 5, is True Lies and Aliens, which I've never actually seen True Lies, but everybody tells me that it's amazing.
It's really good. And one of the best scene in the movie isn't CG'd because it's with Jamie Lee Curtis. But anyway, that's another aside.
Okay. All right, this next question.
Yep.
My wife actually helped me with this one. This was a really good question.
Cool.
So it says, this English actor famously voiced the entirely CGI character of Gollum in Lord of the Rings, Caesar in Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Supreme Leader Snoke in Star Wars The Force Awakens, and most recently voiced Baloo in the newest Jungle Book movie. What is this actor's name?
I'm going to assume it's the same actor that did the motion capture, Andy Serkis.
Damn it, really?
Yep. Oh, nice.
Well done. Well done. I honestly didn't expect you to get that one, but such is life.
So he kind of mastered the sort of the motion capture, and he's like probably the leading motion capture person in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe that wasn't as esoteric of a question as I had hoped.
Oh, good.
All right, this next question. Obviously, you know, The Matrix is my favorite movie.
Yes, you love The Matrix.
All right, so what is the name given by the crew of the Nebuchadnezzar to the autonomous, multi-eyed, tentacled killing machines that are also referred to as squiddies by the human resistance? So what is the name of the actual killing machines that are like the main, or one of the main antagonists in the film? These mechanical, electronic creatures, what are they called?
The squiddies, the Sentinels, right?
Sentinels, yeah. Damn it, Chris.
Oh, yes.
All right. This is really disheartening, but okay. This 2009 film is derived from a graphic novel that is widely accepted as one of the 100 greatest novels of all time. Set in an alternate history in 1985, it features characters such as Dr. Manhattan and Rorschach. What is the movie?
I don't know.
I actually thought you would have got this one. It's Watchmen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Movie didn't take off nearly as well as the graphic novel did, but very, very popular film. I actually seen it in the very first movie I ever seen in IMAX 3D or 3D IMAX, however you say it, was that movie. And true story, like the craziest scene up until that point that I have ever seen in 3D was the whenever Dr. Manhattan is actually on Mars and he's building some sort of like mechanical thing, whatever. This isn't great for radio, but if you could see it, if you can go on YouTube and search it, it is absolutely incredible. Like, talk about a very, very good use of CGI. That's one of them.
Very cool.
All right, this next question. I'm sure you've seen the original Tron.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Right? Actually, I just messed up. I gave you the answer first.
Okay, well, was it Tron?
Yeah, it was Tron.
Oh, good.
I was going to say this film was disqualified from receiving an Academy Award nomination for special effects because the Academy felt that they were cheating.
Wow.
So it was actually Tron. So
it's funny because I think it was like shortly after that time is when they started to expand the Oscars and they added things like makeup and special effects as categories.
Right.
Because I think makeup came along in 1982, if I remember correctly, because Rick Baker, who did the makeup in 1977 for Star Wars and should have won, obviously, if there was an award at that time, but there was no award for makeup at that time. So he would have won it for the Cantina sequence. But anyway.
All right. Well, sorry for bombing that. That was really
That's
good.
okay. I got it. It was Tron. Ding, ding, ding.
All right. Okay. This 2000 film is believed by many to be one of the worst ever made, and it features the lead character, Turl. This is directly from IMDb right here. While other beings were learning how to spell their names, Turtle was being trained to conquer galaxies. Despite his willpower and his knack for strategy, he is thoroughly incompetent and absent-minded when it comes to dealing with man-animals, as he calls them. Turtle is a vengeful psycho and will stop at nothing to ruin anybody who dares cross him. What is this movie?
Oh, please, it's Battlefield Earth. I mean, come on. It's John Travolta. It's one of the worst movies ever made. It was based on L. Ron Hubbard, right? On his book. Oh, it's terrible. Oh, it's awful. Yeah. You know, the only reason it was made is because Travolta's a Scientologist, right? And, just awful, 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 awful movie. I agree with you. One of the worst movies ever made, for sure.
You're doing pretty good. You're having a good show, Chris.
Not bad. Yeah.
All right. So, Chris, you have 2 kids, right?
Yes, I do.
So I take it you've seen Toy Story at least once in your life?
I've seen Toy Story, from time to time.
Okay. So obviously it's all CGI throughout the entire film. What is the name of the emotionally disturbed delinquent child that lives next door and destroys toys in cruel and unusual ways?
Oh God, you got me there. You got me there. Okay, so you got me on that one. I can't remember. I know the character, but I don't remember.
I know you can picture him. You know what he looks like.
I can picture him because and he straps the bomb onto Buzz. He's gonna and that's the rescue. I can't remember the name of the kid. Oh,
his name is Sid.
Sid. Oh, jeez, you got me. That was a good one.
Yeah, slimy little bastard.
By the way, I got to say, like, Toy Story was okay. I'm not gonna, Toy Story 2 but Toy Story 3.
Toy Story 3 made me cry. I cried in the theater.
Oh, yeah, unbelievable. Not just one of the best movies of that year. It was one of the, not one of the best animated movies. It was one of the best movies of all time. Like, seriously, like, it is an incredible movie. Like, it's got everything in it. It's got emotions, and it's got a great story, and it's got incredible effects, and all these action, and, like, the suspense, and what a movie. That's what movies are all about. And that is amazing use of CGI, because I think, going back to what we were saying before, a lot of the things with CGI is the emotions missing, and that really is what connects people to movies. That's what makes movies so special. There has to be an emotional connection, and a lot of it can get lost in CGI. And I think Toy Story 3 is a great example where you can still convey emotion and connect with audiences through CGI.
Totally agree. One of my favorite movies growing up, still is one of my favorite movies, was all 3 Toy Stories.
Yeah.
All right, so this next question. This 2002 movie is an American science fiction action mystery thriller directed by Steven Spielberg, which you've heard of Steven Spielberg, I assume?
Yeah, I've heard of him from time to time.
Yeah, little obscure director. It's set in the year 2054, where pre-crime, as it's called, is a specialized police department that apprehends criminals based on foreknowledge provided by 3 psychics. What is the name of this movie?
Oh, that's the one with Tom Cruise, right? Oh, what the hell is the name of it now? I can't remember the name of it. It's escaped me.
Some really crazy special effects.
Yes. I remember
with his hands dealing with computers and moving images side by side, and
I can't remember it off the top of my head now. It's I know I can't remember.
Yep, it's you were right. It was a Tom Cruise movie, and it's called Minority Report.
Minority Report. That's it.
Yeah, it's based off the book.
Absolutely.
Okay, I think I have one more question.
One more. Lay it on me.
Are you a Harry Potter guy?
Yeah, Harry Potter. I'm more like the books than the movies, but I mean, movies are still good. They're very true to the books, so
you should nail this. All right, so the first Harry Potter movie was released in 2001, right?
Yeah.
So 10 years and 8 films later, the series finally met its end. How many Harry Potter movie titles can you name?
I guess I could name all of them, right? I mean, the first
start
one
from the top. Let's start the oldest.
So in the Sorcerer's Stone, there is the Chamber of Secrets. Then the third one is the Order of the Phoenix, the third one. I did this. The funny thing is on my honeymoon, because I read the books like years ago, so it's harder for me to remember. I was on my honeymoon, and there was a trivia contest on the ship, and one of the questions was name all the titles of the books, and I was able to name them all, but they're escaping me now. So there was the Half-Blood Prince and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Deathly Hallows Part 2, because they broke the movie into 2 of them, and there was the Goblet of Fire. I missed that one, and I said Half-Blood Prince.
There's one that you haven't said already. So you've gotten all of them but one.
It's the third movie, though. It was a really good one where
probably the first
Azkaban. Wasn't it Prisoner of Azkaban? Yes.
Prisoner of Azkaban.
That was it. That was actually probably one of the best of the movies too. I'm trying to remember when it was.
Yeah.
I like the director. I think it was Swan who directed it. It was a really, really good job, and I thought he did some really good stuff in that. So okay, so did I get them all? Is that all of them? No, I didn't do it in order, but
Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, the part 1 was actually the first movie I saw in theaters with my wife, which she was obviously my girlfriend at the time, but she wanted to see it really, really bad, and I wasn't caught up with all the movies. I had missed like the Goblet of Fire and the Order of the Phoenix, and so I was like, I'll take you or whatever. But it was actually a phenomenal movie. But I'm pretty impressed that you knew them all, especially when you started getting out of order. I didn't think you'd be able to recover, but you did it, Chris. I think you got every single one right but one. Did you miss one movie
of the Harry Potter?
No, overall.
Oh, overall, no, I did awesome this week. I mean, and next week you better brush up on your Fonzie because I'm sure we'll be doing lots of Fonzie stuff. I'll be hitting you with that, so it's gonna be great. But right now, hey, listen, it's time to wrap things up. Episode 3, Saturday Night Live or Saturday Night Dead?
Fun with Yancy.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so this week I'm going to quiz you on SNL-related questions. We're going to stay true to the topic, of course, and especially in regard to Gen X, okay? So I'll tell you what, I'm going to start you with a very, very easy one. It's a 50-50 shot at this one, okay?
Okay.
So it's Saturday Night Live. So when a show goes out live, anything can happen. Has the F word ever been said on the show and made it to air?
I know this. Once. It was an accident. I even knew who oh my God, I know this. It was once. Who was the actor? Yes, the answer is yes. It was one time. And I did know this, and I've completely blanked on who the actor was, but it was a mistake. Like, it was a misstep. He didn't actually mean to say it. Like, he jumbled his words or something like that, and he blurted out the F word. Right?
So actually, the F word has been said several times on SNL. The first time was with Paul Schaefer when he said it instead of the word flogging. He was supposed to say flogging, and he didn't. Most famously was in 1981, Charles Rocket. So they were doing a spoof of Who Shot JR. And at the end, he looked at the camera and he said, I'd just like to know who the did it. And he didn't mean to say it. He said he just came out, and man, did he get in trouble for that. But I mean, Prince used the F word in a song. Morris Day in the time, sang it in a song. Aerosmith did as well. But most recently in 2009, Jenny Slate, she accidentally said the F word, on the show. So it's been said quite a few times, actually. But the most famous, I think, was Charles Rocket when he did it in the Who Shot JR sketch. That's for sure. Okay, so next one. In the original cast, okay, Chevy Chase, he opened up this recurring sketch every week with the following phrase. He would say, "Good evening, I'm Chevy Chase, and you're not." Name the name the recurring sketch.
I don't know, but I want to know. What is it?
Weekend Update.
As soon as you said that, that obviously makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
He opened up Weekend Update with that. So, okay. So we'll try another one. So this well-known and beloved comedian was offered the chance to join the cast of SNL for the 1981-82 season, but he turned it down so that he could stay on SCTV. Name him.
1981?
Yep. Think about it. He's offered to come on Saturday Night Live, and he says, no, I don't want to do it. I'm going to stay on SCTV.
Here's showing my age a little bit, but what was SCTV? Can you give me that?
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
Come on, man.
You and I are doing an entire show on SCTV. Okay, it's a Canadian show. It stands for Second City Television. It was as good or better than Saturday Night Live. No word of a lie. Go back and look up some things. I'm going to send you after the show. I'm going to send you a link to some of my favorite SCTV stuff. Unlike SNL, you can find some of this stuff on YouTube, and some of it will just blow you away. It is so incredible. So this guy was on SCTV. SNL tried to woo him over. He's Canadian, and he died in 1994. Those are some hints for you.
Okay, I don't know if he was actually Canadian, but is it Mitch Hedberg?
No, it's not Mitch Hedberg. It's John Candy.
Oh, yeah. See, I would have never gotten that.
Okay, well then try. I'll expand it a little bit. Okay, so
rest in peace, though, John.
Absolutely, one of the greatest. So in the history of SNL, there's been 9 cast members who were Canadian. I got to give a Canadian spin on this because I'm from the Great White North myself, right? So here's what I want you to do: 9 Canadian cast members in the history of the show. Name 2 of them.
Oh wow. Nobody knows any Canadians, Chris.
Are you kidding me?
Come on. Okay, I'll make it easy for it. Name one Canadian that's ever been a cast member in SNL.
Now, when you say cast member, that is a distinction between like being a guest or hosting it, right?
Yeah, a cast member. I'm looking for one of the cast members, one of the not ready for primetime players. Okay.
I don't know, Chris. I can't think of a single one.
Mike Myers.
Yep. Okay. That actually does make sense. Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd's Canadian.
Yep. Robin Duke, Norm Macdonald, Peter Aykroyd, Paul Schaefer, Phil Hartman, Mark McKinney, and of course, Martin Short. All Canadians on the show. Okay.
Did not know that.
Okay, well, speaking of guest hosts, you mentioned guest hosts, so I'll put this spin on it for you. So there's been lots of people that have hosted the show more than one time. Okay, do you know who holds the record for hosting the show the most times?
The most?
Yep. Hosted Saturday Night Live more than anybody else. 16 times.
Well, recently it seems like every other week it's Justin Timberlake. That's not right, is it? No. Who has hosted it the most? Can you give me any kind of hint as to...
You've already been buzzed, so unfortunately I gotta take it away.
Okay.
It's Alec Baldwin. Has hosted the show 16 times. Yeah, Steve Martin's hosted 15, John Goodman and Buck Henry both 10, but Alec Baldwin is the leader at 16. Okay, so I'm gonna make it even easier. I'm gonna go into the world of movies for you. Okay, so there's been, sometimes they make movies based on SNL sketches, right? There's been 11 movies that have been based on SNL sketches or characters. What I want you to do, though, is name the very, very first one. What was the first movie ever based on an SNL sketch or character?
Was this the Blues Brothers?
Oh, ladies and
got
gentlemen. Very good. Very good. Came out in 1980, and they didn't make another one for 12 years till Wayne's World came out. So good for you.
One of my dad's favorite movies.
All right. Well, it's one of my favorite movies as well. So, okay, one last one to go, okay? One last one on the show. So when the show debuted in 1975, the show was not originally called Saturday Night Live. Can you give me the original name of the show?
Wow. I've got to give you credit, Chris. You did give questions that even if you didn't watch the show, you could probably pick stuff up just through osmosis, just hearing it in passing and stuff.
That was the point. Yeah, I didn't want to like stump you. I want to have some fun. It's fun with Yancy, not stump Yancy.
Yeah, this is really difficult. You could tell it's coming out through your questions that this is something you're obviously very passionate about, that you followed for a long time.
Absolutely
it's seeping through. This is your joint right now.
Oh,
but
love it to death.
Yeah, but no, I don't know. You're gonna have to tell me.
It debuted on October the 11th, 1975, and for over a year it was called NBC's Saturday Night. And the reason why is at the time there was a show on Saturday night called Saturday Night Live with Howard Cosell. And so they couldn't call it Saturday Night Live, so they called it NBC Saturday Night. And then they ended up just changing it to Saturday Night. And then they finally changed it to Saturday Night Live. If you notice on the cold opening, at the end of the cold opening on every show, what do they say right before they kick it to the credits? Live from New York, it's Saturday night.
Yeah.
And they've kept that right from the beginning, because that's the way they started it at the beginning of the show, and they've just kept it through ever since.
It's wild.
Like I said, we could probably do 10 shows on SNL, and we'll probably come back and do some more in the future. That's for sure. But for now, I tell you what, it's time to call it a wrap. Episode 4. Oh, the horror.
Fun with Yancy.
Okay, over to you, my friend.
All right, really quickly, I just want to pour a shot to the ground for my lost homie. We didn't mention The Shining at all today. Mm-hmm. Isn't that weird?
The thing is, here's the thing. Okay, in all honesty, I had it on my top 5, and I was so close, but the other ones really just pushed ahead. The Shining, for me, would be number 6 on the list. Full disclosure, it's really, really close. I thought it was really, really good. I thought it dealt with a lot of really, really cool issues. Isolationism, like being out in the middle of nowhere, slowly going crazy, seeing ghosts, There was the telepathic stuff that was going on and all that. And then there's just madness, like when the scene when he hits Scatman Crothers with the axe and all that stuff, and then chasing the family, and there's so many iconic things, right? Like here's Johnny and all that stuff. But you think about it, like at the time when it first came out, Stephen King didn't even like the movie. You know,
Really?
he goes, I don't like that. It's not a good adaptation of my book. And it wasn't an instant hit. It kind of took a while to kind of grow into a hit, and it eventually did become quite a bit of a hit. But it took a little bit of time to do so. But yeah, there's definitely iconic stuff in there. You know, like the red rum, and all that kind of stuff. It's really close. It's number 6 for me. So it just fell out. Because, we're probably going to hear it from people. So
Yeah, fair enough.
Anyway.
We had to give it a little bit of a plug. So.
Got to give it some love. You're right.
All right, so trivia.
All
ready?
yours. Yep, go for it.
Okay, so you remember we mentioned Blair Witch Project, so I'm going to reword this question just a little bit. This is a long shot, but let's go with it. Do you happen to remember the name of the man that was influenced by the Blair Witch in the film? The man who would lure the children into the home.
Oh, no, I don't remember. No.
They mention it 2 or 3 times, but his name is Rustin Parr.
No, I wouldn't remember it. No.
Okay, fair enough.
Another aside, too, the 3 actors in the movie, I think it's Heather Donahue and Michael and Joshua, because they all use their real names in the movie, right? They're all going to be at Fan Expo in Toronto, too.
Really?
Yeah, I got to run into those guys. I'll get a picture for you, okay?
Okay, fair enough. Okay, have you seen Scream?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what is the name of the actual character, Scream?
Oh, Jeepers, that's a great one, and I love that movie too because it was like a parody. That's the thing that made that thing successful. Because after a long run of like slasher movies, the genre had become boring. The genre had become kind of
tired.
Dated and tired, exactly. So that one came out and it was basically a spoof of horror movies, which made it so good. And also the fact that it starred lots of famous people as opposed to unknowns. I don't know. I don't remember.
It was Father Death.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, Father Death. Okay. All right, can you name the writer of An American Werewolf in London?
Well, the director was John Landis, but was the writer... I'll go with John Landis and say he wrote it too.
Yep, you got it. Damn.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
All right, let's see what other questions we have right here. All right, so what specific thing in common do the movies Silent Hill, House of the Dead, and Resident Evil all have in common?
They all haunted houses?
No, something else you can possibly gravitate towards?
Ghosts?
Nope.
Okay, you got me.
All 3, Silent Hill, House of the Dead, and Resident Evil, were actually video games first that were then turned into movies.
Oh, so there you go. Wow, there you go.
Yep. I thought Resident Evil would have given that away, but I guess not.
Yeah, no.
All right, so what is the name of the demon from The Exorcist that is used to contact Reagan?
The demon that is used to contact Reagan. Oh, man. I don't know. I'm not going to...
Come on, come on. You have to know this.
I don't know it. I can't remember.
It's Captain Howdy.
Oh, okay. Jeez. Oh, man, that's a good one. You're making it really hard on me this week. Good for you.
Yeah, good for me.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm just tired of getting dusted by you those 3 weeks, to be honest.
Well, I got John Landis, so I got that going for me.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
Thanks.
All right, so Zombieland, it came out a few years ago. It's like you said, it's not exactly a horror movie, just like Jaws isn't necessarily a horror movie, but it has a lot of horror aspects. It's kind of genre bending.
Yep.
Can you name any of the 30 plus rules of Zombieland that are mentioned throughout the entire movie? Any rule?
You don't mention Fight Club.
No. He talks about rules all the time. There's something simple as having a buddy, using the buddy system, doing cardio, double tying your shoelaces. It's literally a theme throughout the entire movie, but I was going to give you credit if you could get just one.
Don't ride the Ferris wheel at night.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff like that.
Is that one? I don't know, because it didn't take place in a amusement park.
It says something about that, but like I said, there's only 35. I'll give you half a point for that. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, good enough.
Okay. So what name, speaking of Jaws, what name did Spielberg give to the mechanical shark?
Bruce.
As a bonus tip,
Bruce.
You already said it.
Bruce. Yeah, it was Bruce. Yep.
Here, I'll spin it in a different light.
Okay.
Then, okay.
Yeah. It was named after his accountant. I even know that. How bad
it was actually a lawyer.
Oh, it was his lawyer. I'm sorry. It was named after his lawyer.
Pretty sure it was a lawyer.
Yeah.
Okay. So can you name the movie, an animated movie, where they actually named a shark after that shark?
Absolutely. It was Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo, yeah. And he coined the famous phrase, "Fish are friends, not food." And that was also Bruce. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, good job. Good job. All right, this next question, it says, this grotesque 2009 Dutch film was inspired from a joke the writer had once made about the best way to punish convicted child molesters. What is the film?
Is it Hostel?
No, but that is a good guess. Any other guess?
No.
It's actually The Human Centipede.
Oh, jeepers.
He talks about this in a video interview where they were asking him how could a person come up with an idea to conjoin 3 people to mouth, basically. And he literally said it was a conversation that he was having with friends about the proper way to handle convicted child molesters, which I thought was interesting.
I always related to the South Park episode where it was the human centipede. And it was Apple put them all together. Do you ever see that episode?
I know. I've seen clips.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Got to make sure you read the fine print in that terms of agreement with Apple.
Yeah. All right, so this next movie, the first installment of it, so there's been subsequent movies released since then, but the first installment was released in 2007 and cost just $15,000 to make and grossed $193 million worldwide. What is the name of the movie?
Paranormal Activity.
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, nice.
Fantastic. Okay.
Yes.
And last question.
Last one.
What is the name of the hotel in The Shining?
Oh, it's the jeepers, the
You're so close.
Oh, it's the Overlook. Is it the Overlook?
The Overlook.
Overlook. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yes. Oh, God.
Well done.
So I needed some help, but thank you very much for giving me a little leeway on that one. It's been a long time since I saw that movie.
Fantastic. I will say this: I probably had 3 or 4 more questions, but you literally answered them during the show.
Thanks for listening to Pop Goes Your World. You can contact Chris and Derek at popgoesyourworld.com. Please take a minute and review the podcast on iTunes or wherever you download and listen to the show.